All right. Number 4. Question: what is happiness? Well, happiness is a state of mind that you have to learn to incorporate into your mindset. So you have to create a mind map that allows you to stay happy. What does it mean to be happy? It's a form of to be content with what you have. And that means if at the moment there are certain things you simply do not have, then you simply have to accept that and work with something else. What really annoys me is this kind of moaning and bickering about, I don't have this and I don't have this. And when I look at what all these people have, all this material junk, then, I don't get that. And for me, for instance, it's very hard to spend my days with people who pretend to be happy, just like cheating their way to happiness whenever there's somebody around. And when that person is gone, suddenly they feel shit. They think it's the good thing to do. No, it's not. If you feel shit today, then feel shit. Don't pretend you're happy, because then you're giving something to people because you're trying to pretend that you actually do not have. And that's exploiting yourself to hold up an image that is untrue. So happiness is something that you have to work for. And I'm sure that, I will not always be happy. There will be days where I will be angry because I've overexerted myself. I've given too much. I've digged too deep in myself. Maybe I've done psychedelics, I've drunk too much coffee, I'm too acidic. But it's already enough if you have some methods that help you to get back to being happy. So right now I know why I feel the way I feel. I feel a bit irritated. I feel heavy, I feel shit. I've also been working with rapé the past couple of days. And that brings up things and that opens me up to things. And that gives me like a really heavy feeling. Because something is coming up and it's like making me nuts. At the same time, I know, I'm recording all these videos, so I want to give. But when do I give myself? So now I'm drawn between two things. Now I want to do rapé, but then I think I'm going to sleep, and at the same time I have to walk the dog. So I'm being pulled apart by two things. It's like loving and hating somebody. You want to love them, but you feel like hating them. It's pulling you apart. So instead of doing that, just love and hate them at the same time. It's possible. Because if you try to love them, you'll probably get to a point where you really fucking hate them. And when you really hate them, you're probably gonna hate yourself for hating them. So the best way is to stay in the middle and to always have the option to love or hate them, or to love and hate them, always. Because if you overly love somebody, it's like taking a celebrity, putting that person onto a pedestal and saying, oh, you're so awesome. The only reason you're saying that is because you don't live with them. To you, they are untouchable, and you can only put them on a pedestal because you feel shit about yourself and you think, oh, they're so pretty, but you don't live with them. Sometimes we also put people in our surroundings on a pedestal, but they don't belong there. and neither do we belong into some kind of trough or a grave that we dug for ourselves. So thinking that you always have to be happy is the same thing. If I stay in the middle, I'll be drawn sometimes into extreme bliss and happiness, and sometimes I'll be drawn into extreme anger and hatred and depression. That's just how it is. And I just have to learn to stay in the middle and to see these feelings and to feel them but not become them. To acknowledge them and to recognize as something that is there. And once I do that, I can actually see it in others without judging them for feeling that way. Sometimes we're depressed and then we hate people who are depressed. So we hate depression. But that's then often self-generated hatred. So the best way is to just stay in the middle. So I'm trying, for instance, to watch videos, how I work with TikTok sometimes or YouTube Shorts. Because usually these videos are really mindless junk. They're stupid, materialistic, ignorant asshole bullshit. Yeah? So I sit down and I just watch one after another. These videos that say, try not to laugh. Or these cutest animals of all time collection shit. Or, I don't know, people fails compilation. Try not to think, oh, what a cute kitten, Try watching that with no expression at all. Just a blank face and just observe it. Well, you're probably gonna get to a point where you've watched enough of these stupid videos and there's one that's gonna make you laugh. And then you just have to remember that feeling. Because that's usually how I do it then. If I feel really shit and I need to watch a video that's trying to make me laugh, I at least try resisting to laugh for a long time. But at one point, I'm just cracking. It's just gonna crack me open. Whether I want it or not, it's just gonna happen. And then I think, okay, you got me there. I was trying to be overly angry and depressed. And that's when you start thinking, what's happiness? On the other side of happiness is misery. So the truth is always in the middle. So instead of judging feeling miserable, you just accept it. And then you have a method. How can I get out of this again to feel a bit more balanced again? To neither be in extreme happiness or to be in extreme misery. Because people who are depressed, they want to be happy. Actually sometimes I'm happy, I want to be depressed. Sometimes I really want to suffer. Why else do you think I'm doing rapé? I've never seen it like that, but it's true. I actually want to suffer. Because that's the only thing that keeps me going. If I'm too happy, I have nothing to do anymore. Because then everything's fine. But, then I'm stuck. So I push myself so that I have homework. That's spirituality. Oh, that's actually what I wanted to talk about in this one, but now I'm talking about happiness, and I think this episode is over because I didn't want to talk that long. So now I have to move it one up, So now 4 becomes 5, right? What is happiness? 4 is the heart, and then 5 is truth, right? It's what is spirituality.